In the meantime, environment and economic experts want the government to adopt a different approach in its fight against corruption. Our correspondent, Ellen Osemide-Akins, has details.
President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 declared war against corruption and vowed to stop public officers from looting the country's treasury. The president has over time backed his commitment by putting in place measures such as Treasury single account, whistleblowers policy, and the establishment of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. The Nigerian government says there is still some level of resistance to the anti-corruption campaign. Participants at this conference on behavioral insight and policy making in Nigeria want the government to adopt a different approach in the fight by targeting social norms which encourage corruption.
If we are going to fight corruption, then we need to start inside from ourselves. Have we reconciled ourselves with the fight against corruption? Can we reconcile other people as well? Can we look at who and who is guilty or who is talking about issues of anti-corruption in Nigeria?
Again, look beyond the traditional approach of tackling corruption in Nigeria, looking for an innovative way on how to deal with the issue of corruption. And behavioral approach is a perspective that is increasingly gaining attention globally.
If we continue at this rate, as government after government has done since 1960, I don't see what is new and what is going to change, except we can do something about the motivations and the intentions of the people who are involved with corruption by understanding where it's coming from.
They acknowledge the fact that citizens are most affected by the impact of corruption as resources meant for the public are diverted by a few in the society. The call on the citizens to join hands with the government and fight the monster called corruption.
That citizens' demand culture is critical towards curbing corruption. If citizens don't ask questions, the government can get away. So that we must build institutions of demand. People must demand government to be accountable. Otherwise, government might just be complacent.
One of the ways we can also ensure that government implement policies is for citizens to also cry out when there are gaps in policy implementations. That is why we have this meeting, to reawaken the mind of citizens and the consciousness of citizens again, that they have a role to play in terms of their behavior and their attitude towards fighting corruption.
Fighting corruption is not a government responsibility as such. It is the responsibility of the citizen. It is the citizens that fight corruption and demand the government to give account. Other than that, what we see is the promotion of a kind of a wrong perception of the anti-corruption activities.
The presentation at this conference are expected to ignite debates around how policy making can target changing social norms that promote corruption. Ellen Osemide-Akins, TVC News, Abuja.